weeknight meals. Follow my easy tips.
Bring in the big gun.
Try my time-saving techniques.
Like Julia.
Taste delicious recipes. Wow. So join me in my kitchen this week for Sarah's Weeknight Meals. Ta-da! Perfect.
Join Chef Sarah Moulton on Create. This is Create.
Create, the fun part of your day, every day. Now you can shop online at shopcreate.com for books and DVDs of your favorite shows. From home improvement to travel, cooking, and gardening, it's in the bag at shopcreate.com.
Log on to createtv.com and explore your passions. Learn more about your favorite hosts and shows. Find the latest schedules and recipes. Do some shopping and get how-to tips. It's all here at createtv.com.
People just love small plates because it really allows them to choose a lots of different foods when they come to a restaurant, and instead of just ending up with like a one main course. But as chefs, I must say, we're putting as much thought into small plates when it comes to the combinations of colors, flavors, and actually presentation also. Over here we have an avocado bowl actually stuffed with some crab meat, and it's a spicy watermelon gazpacho. And over here we have a cooked steak which will be served with a chimichurri sauce and actually cooked on the stone. On today's show, we will be making both recipes, and I will show you a great technique how to create an avocado bowl and the recipes for a delicious watermelon gazpacho to serve with it. You also will learn how to make a chimichurri sauce, plus a very unique way how to cook a steak. So come with me in the kitchen, let's get cooking.
Hubert Keller, Secrets of a Chef is made possible by Cuisinart and the elite collection of food processors. 3 nested work bowls, a seal-tight lid for maximum capacity use, blade lock for pouring, and a 6-in-1 adjustable slicing disc. It's the next innovation for the modern kitchen. Additional funding is provided by Sante, the magazine for restaurant professionals helping to inspire excellence and innovation in hospitality and the culinary arts. And by Jericho Estate, makers of handcrafted wines using organic farming practices.
Well, we're here at Fleur in Las Vegas, where the menu is actually small bites, and what I really have prepared for you today is actually some avocado, and with a little crab salad trapped into the avocado. And you can see we have these beautiful purses here, and it looks probably very complicated to realize that, but I want to show you today it's actually to make it, and to make it really easy, and I promise you, you can reproduce those right in your house. So over here I have some beautiful watermelon, and what I'm doing with is actually a gazpacho. So the little combination between avocado, crab meat also will go with a gazpacho made out of watermelon. So in order to make it, it's very, very simple. What I will do in a blender, I'm just gonna add the watermelon, and I already diced it and cubed it, and there's a little juice left. We can put everything in there. So the only thing I need with that gazpacho is a little salt, and a little bit of pepper. So you're gonna put that in. So a little salt, a little pepper, and then to really, really add a tiny little touch of acidity, I have like a sweet vinegar. So I'm just gonna add a little touch of sweet vinegar in there. So we have the sweetness and definitely the touch of the acidity in my gazpacho. So we're gonna add a little bit in there. Okay, so once I have that, and of course, what you could do is add a little bit of pepper if you want, like a little chili pepper or something, if you really want it spicy. I personally like it that way, since I think crab meat is pretty delicate and we don't want to have it overpowered by some spices. I will turn it on. All right, I think my gazpacho is ready. So of course, what I really want to do is actually I want to chill it because gazpacho is really a cold soup, and whenever you're serving gazpacho, it needs to be chilled. So I have it ready. So now another step, I will make now the crab salad. And one of the items which really goes into crab salad, of course, we have some onions, we have some bell peppers, cucumbers, and I will just show you how to actually cut a little cucumber brunoise. And when we say brunoise, means tiny little dices. Since I really make something really delicate, I want to cut those cucumbers nicely. So that's an English cucumber. Let me show you what I'm doing here. What I will do now is just cutting the outside of my cucumber. So you can see, because really what really want to try to get into my salad here is some nice green color. So again, I'm just using the outside of my cucumber. And then what I do here, I'm just gonna cut now little strips. And again, which is really interesting, when you make these little cuts actually with the knife, with a really sharp knife, which is very important, we don't want to crush those nice little vegetables. So you just line them up like almost matchsticks. And we're just gonna run the knife over. And then what you see, what we're obtaining is actually this beautiful little dices of vegetables, which again, we call that the brunoise, but the word brunoise is a French word that we're using in a French technique in cuisine, but what it all means is tiny little dices. So once you have seen how that works, over here I have actually my lamb crab meat, and it's really nice white lamb crab. So what I do with my finger, I just crush a little bit the lump, not too much, just a little bit crushing those lumps, because I really want to make sure that it comes together when I make the salad, and I will be able to fill in my little purses. So what I'm doing to that, in order to get my salad going, I have several ingredients here. I have a little bit of chopped parsley, so I will add the chopped parsley in here. That's the cucumbers that we just diced, the brunoise of cucumber. I put that in, and then I have some red bell pepper. So we're gonna put the red bell pepper in, and then it's gonna add a tiny little punch really to my crab salad. Of course, raw onions, little red onions, always works really beautifully. And then of course now, I'm just gonna add a couple of spoons of lemon juice or lime juice. That all really works nicely. And once I have that, of course I wanna add a little bit salt and pepper. And my crab salad is basically ready. So I keep it really quite nice and clean, right? Without basically fussing too much with the crab salad, because crab is so nice and delicate. So let me just mix that up. Okay. So, and again, that all can be done ahead of time. If you do decide on making those little purses, again, the crab salad can be done several hours before. The gazpacho definitely should be done like an hour or 2 hours before, so you have time to chill it. So what I'm doing now with the avocado is basically, let's cut down both sides of the avocado. So let me cut out over here, let me cut over there. And then what I'm doing now, I'm just cutting into my avocado nicely and delicately. When I'm at that stage, I'm just gonna open up my avocado, as you can see here. Of course, removing the pit right over there. So that will do with that. Let's clean it out. And of course, now I really want to peel that avocado. So instead of actually using a spoon, sometimes depending on the avocado, you really can do it with your fingers, or sometimes a knife is used. But in that case, really, I wouldn't like to use a spoon, because you will understand right away when you see me slicing it. So now I will actually share with you the little trick how to create those little purses. What I really need is a working surface. Stone would be better, or kind of a plastic board. I would avoid wood. And what I do here, I'm just gonna wet, I have a wet cloth here. I'm just gonna wet the table a little bit, and then we'll bring in some plastic film wrap. And the reason why I wet actually the table is, you will understand right away, as soon as I put my plastic down, you will see my plastic actually sticks on the table. If I would put it on the wood, it wouldn't stick, and that would be basically a problem, because you will understand once later on I line them up, it has to actually stick nicely. So once we are there, so we're gonna start off. I have a little bit of olive oil. So I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit olive oil, right, on the table. And then I need one more thing, of course, to avoid that the avocado oxidizes. I'm just gonna cut a lemon, and just like that, just put a little bit of lemon juice on it. That's the maximum what we need. And now really comes that technique on laying out the avocado. So I'm gonna take off a first slice over here. So now just very gently, I just cut a thin slice and lay it down. And then I'm just gonna continue now on basically laying the avocado down. And it's a nice little trick, but you will see once you follow the step by step, you will have something really beautiful showing up. So again, we're laying down our avocado so as you can see it, and I'm gonna keep on overlapping it. I will actually have about 8 slices of avocado. So there's a little bit labor intensive, but again, once you wrap it up in plastic, you can really make these little purses way ahead of time, 2-3 hours. They will stay nicely because they're not exposed to the air, right, to the oxygen, so they will not oxidize. So now let me put the crab meat in the center. So what I do here, I'm just gonna take my little salad and put it right in the center here. So far, it's pretty neat, and like I said, if you like to spend a little time in the kitchen and I really have fun with it, I think it's really worthwhile, and for sure you will impress your friends because they all wanna know the technique, what you did. So once I'm here, let me just now grab my plastic film on the corners, right? And I'm gonna lift it up on all 4 corners, you see. And as I'm tying it in, I just basically create almost a little bigger purse. So I will now shape it a little bit, and you see, I'm just gonna twist my plastic film, and then now I just wrap it around. So now you already start on seeing that little purse showing up here, and I really wanna put some pressure on it, and I'm just keep on twisting it, and you don't stop on twisting it until you will hear actually a little pop, and it's gonna happen right now. Did you see it just popped? So what I'm doing here, I just actually shape it down, and you can see how nice and beautiful, how perfect you have a little purse. So let me do the plating right now. So I have a nice little plate here with a little cavity because we want to serve the gazpacho in the bottom of the plate. So let me quickly grab the gazpacho over here, and let's spoon a little bit some of that liquid on the bottom. So you see how nice and beautifully clear it is. It has a beautiful, beautiful texture. We're gonna remove that one and plate it right over here. So you can see how nice and delicate and beautiful here. I have another one ready over here that I made earlier. So we put that, so the way you can plate it also can add a little bit of a little diamond of watermelon, since that's the main ingredient. And then I have a little bit of a lump crab meat. And since we have this beautiful brunoise and a vegetable that we actually spend the time on slicing them, again, I want to put them on top. So you see how delicate really you can do something when it comes just from something so simple like avocado and then crab. And then once you present that, it becomes really elegant. One little bite, again, a nice explosion of flavors. So now we're gonna put that into the set, and that's actually how you wanna present it. So now let me show you actually how we're presenting it at the restaurant. So Paul is gonna bring it over, and that's a totally different presentation. It's a lots of fun, but at least you had the idea here. Thank you, Paul. It's a little bit different, right? You can see there's a little glass spoon here. You have it longwise. We have the avocado, the crab is inside. And actually the way you're really tasting it, since you wanna get the gazpacho and the crab salad together, the way I designed it is just take the avocado, and now you eat the avocado. And as you're eating it, you take those little spoons. There's actually an opening on one side. You take the spoon and here we go. You're actually drinking the gazpacho over the avocado. And then once you have that explosion of the gazpacho in it, it really mixes itself with the funniness of the avocado and that crab meat that we just dressed up in a very simple dressing. When that comes together, it's magical. Well, we're here at Fleur in Las Vegas, where really the cuisine is based on cuisine around the world. So today I'm taking you to a great trip, South America, where actually we're going to Argentina, where the signature dishes is grilled meat, and of course what goes best with the grilled meat is a sauce called chimichurri. And I will show you how we do that sauce, but also here at the restaurant, what we're really surprising you with is actually you will be cooking that particular beef, it's skirt steak, on a hot pebble, and you're gonna have lots of fun with it, and you're gonna do your own little job here, and the chef's gonna rest in the meantime in the kitchen the time you will be cooking. So let me show you how to do the chimichurri sauce. So first of all, in a blender, what I will do is first I'm adding some garlic. So garlic goes in the blender, and then interesting enough that usually we're discarding it, what we're gonna do here, I'm actually using also the parsley stems in it. So we put the parsley stem in it, and I will cover that up with some olive oil. All right, and I'm putting in some salt and some pepper. So some salt and pepper, and I will blend that first before we actually continuing. All right, so then when it's really basically almost smooth, so I have a few more addition to it. So I'm adding actually some hot sauce that's really gonna have a bite to that beef. So the hot sauce is really up to you. If you really like it spicy, of course, don't hesitate, being really comfortable with it, and adding some lemon juice in it, and some champagne vinegar. Okay, and then after that, I will mix that up. And then later on, we're gonna add the parsley leaves. Okay, so once I have that, so let's add now the other part. We're gonna add the parsley leaves into it. Okay, and we're just gonna chop it up coarsely. Here we go. All right, so now that my sauce is ready, what I really want, I want to show you, I have little chunks of a parsley in it, so it's really important. So you see the sauce is actually a little bit chunky, and that's exactly how we want it. So our sauce is ready. So now comes the time we're actually going to slice the meat. So let me show you that. So I have some skirt steak here, which is again, it's a great piece of meat. It's a great grilling piece of meat. It's pretty thin, and usually it is the butcher's meat. When we say the butcher's meat, means in the old days, the butcher usually reserved his best piece of meat for himself. So that's one of them that usually the butchers love because it's nice, it's tender, but beside it is a lots of flavor. So what I'm doing here, I'm just gonna slice now the meat in little thin slices. Okay, and actually, you know, I can cut that in half so it makes it a little bit easier later on. Okay, so let's just display it nicely on over here. And so the guests could really see how nice and fatty and layered and how fresh it is. So that's how we're gonna be presented then on the table. So we're gonna put that over here, that's ready to be cooked later on. So over here, I have some fingerling potatoes. They have been cooked already. And when I'm doing those fingerling potatoes, I will just make a little incision, just like that, with a knife. So each one get a little incision, just like if you would do baked potatoes. And again, they are all the way cooked through already. So now we're gonna make, like I said, a little incision, and I will push out some of the meat, just like that. Just a little bit, and then we're actually gonna fry them. So once we have them on that stage, now I will place them into the basket over here. So we're gonna put them into the basket, and we now just gonna fry them. Let me put them down here. Okay, so the time they're actually frying, what I'm doing now, I will make a little tomato salad. which goes also with it, a great complement of it. So over here I have some beautiful cherry tomatoes that I have sliced already, and now I will season them just with a little bit of red onions that I've chopped, and pretty generous on the red onion. It's almost like a little red onion and a cherry tomato little salsa here. And I will add a little bit of salt and pepper on it. And it's a very simple salad. I'm adding a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of vinegar, balsamic vinegar. All right, I will toss that now, and quickly I will check now on my potatoes, because probably my potatoes are ready. Okay, our salad is ready. Let's see how our potatoes are doing here. Oh, they're beautiful, they're really nice. So let me pull those potatoes out. Okay, and let me take some tongs right here, and we're gonna nicely take those potatoes out so you see how nice and golden brown they are. So we're gonna put them here. Okay, so once I have that, now of course I will stuff them with a little bit of sour cream, and we'll add some chives also. So maybe before I put the sour cream on it, let me quickly chop the chives. And then I can use some of the chives even in my tomato salad. Okay. All right, so once I have the chives ready, like I said, I'm gonna put some of that in my tomato salad. And that's probably enough. So I will put some of it in my salad. So I have the salad ready. And now let's put the sour cream actually on it. So what I'm doing with a little spoon, you see I just spoon it in, and they really, because of the potatoes are fried now, it's gonna take a little bit longer that actually the sour cream filters or it's soaked up by potatoes, and it's definitely a nicer, crunchier taste than a regular baked potato. So we're gonna open up that one and put it in there, and then now the last one. Okay. Once I have that, of course, now we're gonna sprinkle our chives over. And then later on, we're gonna put that on the plate. So here we go. That's how they are. Okay, now comes really the very exciting moment. We're gonna cook on a really hot rock. So Adam is gonna get me a new stone, which is actually in the oven for about half an hour at 500 degrees. And the time he's bringing that rock over, let me quickly work on my presentation plate. So the way we're actually showing it to our guests. So first of all, I will put the little baked potato on the plate. Then I will add that little tomato salad, but you know, to add a tomato salad, just as a little garnish, I'm just gonna cut a little onion that I will fan out over here. So just like that. Okay, here, my God, I can actually feel the heat right from here, so it's pretty exciting. Once I have that, let's put a little bit of a tomato salad on the plate. Okay, so right here. So once we have that, so now comes the moment we're actually going to be cooking on that rock. So let's put the plate now over here next to the rock, and I will take now some of the meat, and we're just going to start and actually on cooking the meat, like I was saying, on that stone. So you can see it's actually really nice and hot, and how cool is that? Really, that works for even when you go camping. You can take one of those pebbles and actually put them in a campfire. And when I cook one over here, so we see we're just gonna cook right on the stone, which makes it really, really exciting. In the meantime, I'm gonna take some of that sauce, the chimichurri sauce, and put them in a little container here. Okay, and that's a really nice and chunky sauce who we go perfectly with the meat. So once we have that, so let's now remove the meat. So you see that nice char that we're getting on the meat. And remember, I have not even used any oil, nothing. It's just the heat from the stone, and it's the heat from the stone, and actually the fat from the meat will just make it work. So imagine the fun you can have when you do it actually at the restaurant, or even maybe something that I encourage you to try it at home. So once I have that, again, the plate is ready. So we really want to have that the skirt steak nice and medium rare. And I'm going to take it off now. Just make sure we take it off. And we're going to layer it down here. All right. So here we go. And then the last one. And then you really could see how really nice and fun it is. And it was actually pretty simple and easy when you really think about. But I think being able to cook it on the stone is totally cool. And then I will put now that sauce on it. And you probably noticed that I didn't season the meat. I didn't put any salt. I didn't put any pepper on it, because that chimichurri sauce is definitely hot enough, has enough flavor, and has already the seasoning in it, that you just drizzle that over the meat, and voila, that's our chimichurri from Argentina. Well, since we were preparing a tapas today, of course I have to use a great Spanish wine. Here it's actually a cava brut, a bubbly really, that will work really well with the avocado and also the gazpacho. That wine in particular brings up those exotic spices, and believe it or not, even some sweet apple pie. Has a great complexity. And of course, with a skirt steak and a chimichurri, then I need something really robust, right? Which is actually a Malbec from Argentina. And that one has about 60% of Malbec. It's kind of a very sexy, approachable wine. And also the aroma is built up with those crushed berries and chocolate and even a little bit mocha flavor. So that really stands up to the skirt steak, and of course that punch of the chimichurri. I am Hubert Keller, you're watching Secret of Chef. I see you next week.
Recipes from this series can be found at hubertkeller.com. Hubert Keller, Secrets of a Chef is made possible by Cuisinart and the elite collection of food processors. 3 nested work bowls, a seal-tight lid for maximum capacity use, blade lock for pouring, and a 6-in-1 adjustable slicing disc. It's the next innovation for the modern kitchen. Additional funding is provided by Sante, the magazine for restaurant professionals helping to inspire excellence and innovation in hospitality and the culinary arts. And by Jericho Estate, makers of handcrafted wines using organic farming practices.
This is Create. Lydia's Italy in America. Lydia creates Italian cuisine with an American twist. Next on Create.
Hi, I'm Don, host of The Woodsmith Shop, seen right here on Create TV, the only commercial-free channel dedicated to the best of public television's how-to shows on cooking, gardening, arts and crafts, and of course, woodworking. Looking for some great woodworking projects and techniques? Tune into The Woodsmith Shop on Create TV and make something new.
From the heights of Machu Picchu to the low country of Savannah and Charleston, the seasoned traveler is on the move with information and destinations that appeal to baby boomers and beyond. I'm George Bauer, and this season I'll be traveling to North and South America, Eastern and Western Europe. So join me for a hike through the forest or a wild ride on the Panama Canal. That's The Seasoned Traveler, right here on this public television station.
Visit memorable places on The Seasoned Traveler on Create.
Hi, I'm Katie Brown. Are you looking for some great decorating ideas? Do you want to prepare quick, easy, and tasty meals? Or a little curious about how to look like you have a green thumb? Well, if you said yes to any of those questions, then join me on Katie Brown Workshop for a half hour of unique and simple ways to make your house a home.
Discover your creativity with Katie Brown on Create. This is Create.
Create, the fun part of your day, every day. Now you can shop online at shopcreate.com for books and DVDs of your favorite shows. From home improvement to travel, cooking, and gardening. It's in the bag at shopcreate.com.
Log on to createtv.com and explore your passions. Learn more about your favorite hosts and shows. Find the latest schedules and recipes. Do some shopping and get how-to tips. It's all here at createtv.com.